friends, it is 5:50 in the morning. We're going to the gym right now. We're gonna get a full body workout in. I'm kind of in this unique period of time right now where I'm training for a couple different things at the same time. So, number one, I've got a HYROX coming up on March 15th. And then very shortly after, I'm running 340 miles. I'll be running something called the Speed Project, where we run from Southern California to Las Vegas. And it's probably one of the most lonely experiences that you'll ever hear about. People are just in the desert. The brief on it is crazy. It's a really cool project. But it's a relay race. And the kicker to running 340 miles is the fact that I'll be doing it in barefoot shoes. With that said, as you know, I train in my Vivo Barefoot Modus Strength shoes. Now, running is a lot different than doing a workout. In the runs, you have to be super mindful, running super slow. You're using muscles in your legs that you're not used to running and feeling, because in the new age of running, we're used to max cushion, carbon fiber plates, etc. With something like this, we're solely focusing on connecting with the ground, connecting with the environment around us, and literally, it's just you, the ground, and feeling the little muscles in your leg. My calves feel like watermelons, and I've really only been training for this for like a week and a half, and I'm about 6 weeks out. So, anyhow, we're gonna go into the gym today, really break down the strength workouts in the unilateral, bilateral kind of format that I like to take. If you watch my YouTube videos from a long time ago, you know that wow, that car just blew right through the stop sign. You know how I like to program, and it's a little different right now considering I'm also training for the HYROX. So with the HYROX, I will basically do my entire strength workout, and at the very end, throw in a HYROX specific circuit. So after my first HYROX, I felt like I just overtrained for it. I didn't really enjoy that training, and now I've kind of found a happy medium. But again, it's a little bit of an interesting take considering I'm training for a HYROX and a 340 mile ultramarathon. Barefoot. Alright, so we just worked in from a little priming warm-up in the other room with spider steps, scat push-ups, strict pull-ups, just warming up the upper body, a little bit of hits in there. Now we're going into a bunch of lightweight reps to just engage the upper body. It's going to be a heavier upper body day today, and then at the end we'll have a really heavy, kind of every minute on the minute.
You left you hanging.
Say what?
You left you hanging.
Yeah, just left me freaking hanging. Oh. I'm burning. 90 reps. Knocked out. Now we're gonna go into push press. Heavy sumo renegade rows. I just hit the core a little there with the horizontal pull and a barbell curl, because who doesn't love biceps? All right, so right here we're going into a push press, which is going to be more of a compound movement, right? So that's why we're starting here. We warm up the shoulders, the lateral raises. Then we're going into an unilateral renegade row. So going to be a little bit more core bracing myself down through the hips in this position, really working the T-spine too as well. So the top, the upper back, trying to think about rotational strength, and then into biceps, because I just like to feel good when I work out. So in HYROX, I don't really need biceps. In an ultramarathon, I don't really need biceps, but in my own brain, I need biceps. What are we doing here? All right, now we got an incline horizontal press. So we went from bilateral, so both hands, overhead press, strength over there. Now we're going to do a strength through the horizontal push motion. You'll notice that both the pulls that we've done so far are unilateral, right? So I'm really trying to break up in my programming the bilateral versus unilateral programming. For single-sided strength, today is more unilateral pull. Tomorrow will be more unilateral push, right? Working through antagonistic supersets. So what that means is, right here, I'm a vertical pull. Over there, I'm a horizontal push. Last superset was different, the opposites. We're just trying to be functional so we don't pull something when we're 80 years old at the grocery store. All right, so we're going into a standing rotational punch. So again, we're gonna be working through rotational core strength. I'm not the biggest fan of crunches. I think you can accomplish the same thing, but with more stability, more function, and overall just a better look for your core as well through stuff like this. So I'm really gonna try to focus on keeping the trunk straight ahead, and it's just my upper body movement. So you'll watch, I'll reach, I'll really feel the obliques stretch, and I'm gonna push through on the other side, creating that transverse kind of plane through the core. And then we're gonna go into an anti-extension move, which is just ab rollouts, working functional core. This is the stuff that's gonna translate the most to functional fitness events like HYROX, like CrossFit, like whatever group fitness class that you're doing. So overall, life strength, to feel good, to look good, move well, feel well. There's no sled push. I alluded to that at the beginning. We're gonna go through an EMOM every minute on the minute. We're gonna go 2 minutes, so the first minute is gonna be 150 meter row. Then minute 2 is gonna be walking lunges, down and back. We're gonna go with a front rack kettlebell, so kind of simulate that same front rack position with the sandbags and HYROX. Straight 10 minutes. Basically you finish the given minute exercise and then you rest until the next minute starts. When the next minute starts, we rip it, 10 minutes, 2 exercises, 5 rounds. Let's go.
1, boom, boom, yeah, I make it boom, 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 yeah, I make it boom, boom, yeah, I make it boom. I'm coming with it, you feel it, I make it boom, boom. I know you feel it, 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 boom, boom.
That'll simulate the end of a HYROX. I think my heart rate got up to about 173. That's lactic threshold. Legs are absolutely blown up like balloons. But that's exactly what we're trying to do at the end of a strength workout. Go into something like this, which is super anaerobic, low rest, simulating those periods in time in a HYROX race where you feel like you can't breathe. But the more you rest, the more your brain is just telling you to keep resting instead of go right back into it. And 100 times out of 100, you can probably take one more step. Living right. Oh, just in time for the truck to turn off. I know it looks like it didn't change but I just wear the same thing every single day. Minimalism. Don't forget to smile. All right, my friends, we're back in the car. We're going to head home. It's 8 a.m. We're gonna head home. I've got a non-negotiable 9 a.m. call with my team every day. Go work on the one-on-one coaching platform. We're gonna go do that, and then we're gonna go on our 5-mile barefoot run. I dread it more than running itself. Like I always dread running, and that's why I love it, is because it's hard for me to get going, but once I get going, I get in the groove. But barefoot running especially is super hard to get my mind to grasp, putting my little toes on the pavement and pounding the calves. But that's what we got. We're gonna get more into that storyline of mindful running as well. But nothing but life ahead of us. Air and opportunity at 8 a.m. here on a Thursday. All right, boys, you need anything else from me? Cool. We'll see you tomorrow. All right, here we go. We're out here to run 5 miles barefoot. It is absolutely freezing outside. It's like 20, it might not even be 20 degrees. It's so cold my watch won't pick it up. But basically, as you can see, I've got very different shoes on. We've got the Vivo Primus Trail on. You can see there's really good traction on the bottom. However, I'm going to give you a little spoiler alert. In this 340-mile race, there's not much traction, there's not much cushion. It's purely barefoot. So what goes into training for a 340-mile race, all while training for maybe a HYROX in between, right? Basically, the only advice I have been given is to run slow. Now, it's probably the best advice I could give to any runner specifically. If you're trying to get better at running, 80% of your runs should be done at a very, very slow conversational pace. Just to quickly show you, like normally when I run, I'm a pretty heel to toe strike. But with our natural pattern, we really want to think about our toes hitting first and kind of kissing the ground with our heels. So I went to a whole session with a guy named James in the UK talking about my technique and running, specifically barefoot. And what we analyzed was the fact that I was using too much of my heel, which is going to recruit these posterior muscles a little bit too much. So you're just trying to get into this really rhythmic dance while we run. So again, it kind of taps into that world of super slow mindful running, but also like, what's the goal here with Vivo Barefoot? We want to connect with nature, we want to connect with our surroundings, we want to connect with the ground, and we want to really tap into running slow. So keeping the heart rate controlled with the slow running, as well as just being mindful of what's happening with that technique, utilizing the small little muscles in our feet, our tibialis, all a bunch of crazy words you probably don't need to know. But we're here, we're gonna go run in nature, be with nature, and run really slow.